So we're about to jump into White Raw versus TargA, game number 2. I want to go ahead and let you guys know, MC versus Puzzle, still this Puzzle, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It's still supposed to be our next game. We were going to broadcast that game live as our third match, but MC is, I don't know. I think he's eating some kimchi, and hopefully he'll be back before the broadcast is over, because that would be really sad if he wasn't. But here we go with game number 2.
Interesting opening already, Ben. White Raw is, of course, a Ukrainian Protoss spawning on the right bottom side of Ohana. And Mind Freaks TargA is our Norwegian Zerg, currently living in Australia, spawning at the left top side of this map. And White Raw building the pylon up the high ground.
Yeah, a little one-base action. A couple of Protoss players. Well, I say one-base action, but he's opening one base. Before can't go jumping to conclusions.
I'd be very surprised if he stays on.
I heard that disdain in your voice. Oh, you better not say that.
No. I just frowned upon what you said.
Sorry, Kev.
No worries.
Players like Tyler
or
Noni have been favoring these kinds of styles.
Yeah, Titan has been playing a lot like this as well. It's not even really one base. He just starts off on the high ground, then he drops a gate, and then he drops a forge over here. It's just a weird way that you have your warp gate technology just a little bit quicker. It's kind of what Feast did once on Cloud Kingdom. I guess even against Stefano that was. And that's kind of the way that Titan back then beat Stefano once in, I believe, in MSI Cup. Then again, what I heard from Stefano is that he played those series from a laptop after he came home for something, I don't know. So I'm not sure how good that strategy really was, but.
We'll see. It'll certainly do one thing, and that's change up all the timings. Actually, White Raw is going
double gate
before core.
Didn't someone do that to you again on ladder today?
Yeah, and it was the most pathetically easy game I've ever played. I hope that White Raw has a better approach to it than that guy did.
I'm sure he has, Ben. It's a White Raw after all. This might be special tactics.
We'll see. The game that I played, the guy opened up 2 gate, didn't do anything.
Then went expand.
And then expanded, and then I killed him, and he called me a freaking noob.
I still really like that one guy who just started when you're like, hey man, good luck, have fun. And he's like, you've got a really annoying voice. He didn't even say hi. I really like that hater. That was the best hater, man.
It happens, man. It happens. White Raw has blocked the expansion of TargA.
TargA has scouted the double gate opening, so TarGA's probably thinking like, well, okay, I'm not really all that worried. Things you have to think about straight away right now is potential DTs. White Raw, what are you going?
You know what? White Raw opened this way against, I think it was Morrow last week.
Yep.
And he won that game. He transitioned into a 2-base Colossus push.
Now this actually makes sense, because if Zerg players goes 3 hatch that quick, that means that Zergling speed is delayed for a very long time. Ooh, White Raw actually not rebuilding that pylon in time, man, and that's a little bit sloppy, because right now he actually wants to produce one more Stalker straight away, and he's gonna have to wait approximately 10 seconds before he can, and that's a huge deal early game.
Well, maybe instead of having 3 fast Stalkers, he can have 4. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not the same, man. It's just not the same.
It's not the same. You're right.
TargA buying himself a little bit of time. I love that, knowing that White Raw was going to set. As I said, I think TargA really prepares his matches, because he didn't take this expansion. Well, normally he probably would have taken it. And right now he knows that if White Raw opens like this, he doesn't have a wall up, so he's going to be annoying and send 3 Zerglings to the main base, and that's really quite annoying.
Yep, White Raw immediately pulls some probes to do some fighting, and doesn't take any damage at all. But TarGA's still getting a great scout off, knows that the Nexus was not up, and also knows that that's all he knows.
This is a great opening for TargA, and this is just White Raw trying to exploit the meta game, but TarGA showing that he's able to adapt in-game and not just blindly takes 3 hatches and try to see what happens from there, knowing that if I see this opening in the start, White Raw is probably going to try to deal damage with Stalkers when I only have slow links. So you know what? I'm just going to take link speed a lot quicker. And look at this, by the way, Ben. He's producing a lot of links. And White Raw is going to need a really solid wall over here. He has 1 force field.
I think TargA snuck away before White Raw even saw the link speed finishing. Here come those extra Zerglings. TarGA's gonna make even more Zerglings. Streaming down the map right now. He's got 22 lings out.
That's more than enough if he's able to walk up.
Oh, force field is a good one, but there's no warp gate, Kev. So when this force field expires, White Raw's gonna have nothing. But TargA is instead hunting this probe that he passed.
TarGA's droning right now. Well, if he would make another run by right now, Ben.
Yeah.
White Raw is of course really worried about this. That's why he has the probe over here, so he could potentially build a forge or a gate straight away. He's building a gate. I don't think this is the full wall up. I think this is a little spot where Zerglings can chase. Or they can pass, of course.
Now with things unfolding this way, with White Raw landing that good force field and keeping TargA from actually doing any big damage. I think this is pretty solid for White Raw. It's 26 probes to 28 drones.
I was about to say, this is something that TargA should have done straight away. Start working on these rocks. Give Protoss an extra thing to worry about, even when you don't actually want to break this. It can really scare Protoss, because like if you're White Raw right now, you can't hear it, and you don't really see it straight away. Okay, now he could hear it, and now he knows the Zerglings are there. But if you see this, well, the rocks are like 300 or 400 HP, you get really paranoid, and you can start building cannons, you start creating a wall over here as well, which is just all a waste of money. So as Zerg, you should always try to exploit that.
I feel like this opening's kind of working for White Raw though, because TargA's not been able to get a huge, crazy drone count. He doesn't have any. He doesn't have any sort of developed tech, and TargA feels so paranoid. Now TargA's the one making extra spine crawlers back in his main base, because he doesn't know what White Raw's up to. He doesn't know if he's getting 6-gated or what.
It's a 5-gate, which is close to 6-gate. TargA's getting the Baneling nest now as well. It's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting choice. Banelings are, you know, they're really pretty solid against gateway units, but when force field is used effectively, they kind of lose a lot of their gusto.
TargA's squeezing out 7 more drones, but I really think that's the last drones he's going to make for quite a while, because he guns, well, spike rollers are so good against gateway pushes. Of course, we have these 2 stalkers over here as well. They're going to help out a lot.
One thing White Raw does not have are upgrades, so this gateway army is not going to be able to decimate Zerglings like it would if you'd had +1.
And it's not even a big gateway army. White Raw, how many probes do you have right now? 35. That's not even enough to saturate 2 bases.
Grandpa Raw scouts the spine crawlers and immediately cancels that proxy pylon, says, all right, I'm not going to push this. It is, of course, a very good read.
Yep.
And economically, it's still 2 base to 2 base. It's 38 probes to 42. Like, White Raw's in a fine spot, getting Twilight Council and a Forge now.
Yeah, this is actually not all that bad. But then again, TargA... no, I mean, you're right. This is much better than how it normally is, because some Zergs right now are about 140 supply and have 70-something drones. TargA's only on 3 heads. He does have all these spine crawlers, and you shouldn't forget that White Raw's tech is very, very underdeveloped. Didn't have a forge, doesn't have any upgrades, just now starting his Twilight Council. So sure, purely economic, it's looking pretty decent for White Raw, but that's not everything, man. That's not the real state of the game.
You're right, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like these kinds of openings for Protoss, I think there's some merit in them. I think there's reasons for Protoss players to continue to explore it, because this is a stage of the game that Protoss really struggles with in general. And White Raw showing us that if you just change up your opening a little bit, you can create different mid games.
I mean, a lot of players have been doing that. Like Hero has been doing it a lot in GSL on dual side, and that works out really well. But that's because dual side is a relatively small map. I think Ohana is already a little bit too long for it. It can work if the Zergs just completely ignore everything what you do. But why would you play 100% the same way as Zerg against Protoss when you see double gate opening instead of a Forge or a Nexus first? That makes no sense.
Yeah, but what is the correct way to play against it? I mean, that's
just a little safer and get quick Zergling speed. And I really think if TargA would have made more Zerglings, he would have been able to pressure White Raw so hard. And then if he starts working on the rocks, you really scare Protoss a lot, and he's going to waste so much money that you're still going to come out ahead.
It's like White Raw's planning some kind of big blink play. His +1's finishing up, but TargA's also finishing up 1-1, so...
This pylon is really awesome, by the way, for White Raw. That's going to help out so extremely much. I think TargA is going to see it once this hatch is ready, but I hope that's time enough. We see Baneling speed being risky as well, so it's going to be Zergling, Baneling, Ventral Sex. No, actually, no Ventral Sex yet.
Zergling, Baneling, Infester.
Yeah. Kind of with Lowly a little bit. Lowly against Cruncher.
It can work on this exact same map too.
Well, if Lowly does it, I'm a believer, man.
If you can fungal the sentries, then of course that means no more force field, and Banelings become oh so good. Hatch has finished for TargA, and he does see that pylon. White Raw still hasn't done anything with it. I don't think that he will.
White Raw has a lot of stalks in the main base. He's been blind for quite a while, perhaps afraid of 2-base Muda play after he saw all the spine crawlers, which I think would have been a decent transition for TargA, but White Raw would have been very well prepared for that. So good job by White Raw. +1 just finishes right now. Now he takes his 3rd base. 13 minutes. Wow, that's late, White Raw.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not much later than TargA's. TargA's just finished.
Yeah, but TargA has 15 workers ahead already. And by the time that the White Raw's base is up, I think it's going to be like 25 workers ahead.
I still feel like White Raw's in a pretty okay spot, Kev. He's got a Colossus about to come out. He's working on his +2. TargA, I mean, maybe if he gets some great fungals and some good Baneling connections, he could delay this 3rd base. But no, I mean, right now he's in no position to pressure it.
I don't think he has to delay it, but I think if White Raw doesn't make something happen, I think eventually TargA is going to be quite far ahead. Hive is halfway on the way already. That's crazy.
I think we're going to see TargA go Ultras, Kev. Ultralisk Infester, which is...
not bad against Blink Stalkers at all.
Yeah.
And certainly not bad against Colossus. And if we take a look, there's not a single Immortal on the field, which of course makes sense because all White Rat ever scouted were Zerglings. Yeah. And I think in this situation, I think Ultras could actually be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't disagree at all.
I love how TargA, like, he knows right now he has absolute map control. He saw White Rat taking that base, and he's just expanding all over the place. Just now, White Rat is actually giving TargA something to worry about as soon as he starts competing for the Cell Naga Watchtower vision.
Yeah, a little bit of blink micro there. White Rat killing a lot of these Zerglings. TargA sees that first Colossus. Do you think if White Rat attacked right now, that TargA would be able to do anything about it?
I think then he's going to have a very, very tough fight, because I agree, because he doesn't really have anything to really deal with Colossus. So, unless he has Neuroparasite, which he doesn't have, he's going to get the imported Adrenal Glands upgrade though.
Yeah, but if White Rat waits much longer, I think he's going to be in trouble. Ventral Sacs also being researched. Baneling's going down.
TargA is going to need really good baiting definitions. Ventral Sacs is halfway done, but it's not completely done yet, so I don't think he's going to be able to drop for... Ends up losing the Infestor for one Fungal, obviously not the best rate. White Rat's taking out a lot of Creep Tombs right now, that's already important. And TargA could really use +2 for those Banelings.
Oh, White Rat getting so close. Baneling speed is done. A couple of pretty good force fields going to zone out all of TargA's army. Oh, but there's a nice Fungal. Really nice Fungal.
I don't think this force fields help that much.
Well, here we go. TargA is going to go for it right now. There's some more good force fields. These were much better than the last. Oh, but there's a couple of cracks, and TargA does squeeze through. Colossi going to have to be microed pretty well here. And TargA, does he have enough?
No, I don't think he has enough to take out the Colossus, but perhaps enough to scare White Rat back just a little bit. There are 3 Colossus right now, which literally kill everything that TargA has for unit composition, but that wasn't too bad for TargA. I think it could have gone worse, man.
Here come the reinforcements. It's just going to be Stalker Colossus against Zergling Baneling.
+2 is ready right now. For the next fight, Adrenal Glands is going to be ready as well. So, yeah, this time it actually matters, because this time this upgrade is actually going to be pretty useful. White Rat doesn't have many units, Ben, and as soon as the Colossus starts running...
Yeah, there's no force field, which is a really important thing. And that's a bad blink. Those Stalkers are so exposed, but it doesn't matter. TargA not paying attention.
And here come the reinforcements. Couple of Banelings about to morph.
Oh, more reinforcements coming in. White Rat blinking backwards. Colossi! Oh, Colossi, you gotta be micro, man, and the Colossi are just going to disintegrate.
Now all that's left is a couple of Blink Stalkers, but these Zerglings are so strong against these Blink Stalkers right now. I think
it's still a pretty close fight, but I feel like TargA's gonna be okay with no Colossi in the mix.
And these upgrades on these links, and obviously it's awesome to reinforce with links because they pop also quick. 4 hatches right now. We have this 5th hatch as well on the right side.
Oh, White Rat trying to retreat. He's gonna get caught out of position. Big Fungal goes down. No blinks for these units, and White Rat's in a lot of trouble, Kev.
He is. He's gonna end up losing all these units. Gonna end up losing this one Colossus as well. Man, TargA did that. TargA handled that entire situation so well.
I kind of feel like White Rat was awful careless with his Colossi.
Yeah, but
don't you feel like they should have been up on the high ground? Just like
I think they shouldn't. Like instead of being here, they probably should have been here, so they could actually walk up to the high ground, as you point out. But still. I mean, normally you're not that afraid of Zergling army only with 3 Colossus.
True, but I mean, the Banelings were something. I guess the force fields, they looked better than they actually were because the Lings were able to squeeze through there.
Yeah, that was the first big fight. We could take another look at that, but I'm kind of afraid that TargA wants to be aggressive right now, Brad, so it's your call.
Let's just, let's go ahead. Let's try it. We'll take another look. We've got the live screen here in the bottom right-hand corner so that we can make sure that we don't miss any of the important action. And actually, boom. Okay, so as soon as the replay starts, we see exactly how those force fields went for White Rat. They looked pretty solid, but then the Stalkers start blinking back, and it reveals a couple holes in the Colossi, never really moving, at least not until it was quite a bit too late.
I mean, this fight took so long, and I think this still went quite okay for White Rat, but right now he should really, he needs to protect his Colossus again. He needs way more gateway units than he actually does.
Yeah, even if he just goes all the way back home after that, like he killed all of the army.
Yeah, that's not too bad. He's on 3 bases right now. He could potentially protect the fort, even though it would put him in a rough spot when Ventral Sex is ready and stuff. It's going to be hard to defend against such strong Zerglings all over the place.
Let's go ahead and jump back into our main game, Kev.
Yes, I agree. Because that fight, I mean, we couldn't show the second fight right now. Sorry, guys, but well, I actually thought that we might have seen engagement soon, but it's not going to happen yet. But we can talk about that later on more. We can highlight it. We can look at take another look at it after the game. No worries.
130 supply right now for White Raw. 170 for TargA. He is maxing out with more Banelings, and he's going to actually start dropping some Lings and Overlords. And as we predicted, Ultralisks are on the field.
I love the Archons right now, though, for White Raw. That makes, of course, perfect sense. But White Raw is in dire need of some serious gas, man. He's going to now make a ton of Zealots, but the moment Protoss starts attacking you late game with Zealots, you know that you're doing right as Zerg, because...
Yeah, and Zealots are so bad against Banelings. White Raw probably going to try to secure this 4th expand here soon.
Just had to think of Joe, friend. If you would have heard what you just said about Zealots, man.
Blasphemy.
I think TargA's going to go for it with a lot of Zerglings, Ultras as well. White Raw, how are you going to position your army?
Oh, he needs to micro these Colossi a little bit. Archons also need to be in the fight. Colossus gets caught out in the open. Zealots are all like behind the army, so they're not even engaged right now. The Archon's doing such a good job, though.
Those Fungals and all those Zealots helping out so extremely much, but that's of course why you don't want to have Zealots in this phase of the game. Now all that's left is a couple of Colossus against these Ultras. Ooh, reinforcements coming in.
Jump, and jump, jump, jump.
White Raw realizing right now he's going to need Ultras. Can we see another Fungal? That Fungal was a little bit too late. That's what 3G wireless internet does for you.
3G in Australia, bro.
But wow, TargA, man.
TargA has to predict where his opponent's going to be in the next 15 seconds.
That actually makes TargA the best player in the world.
He has to look into the future to land good Fungals.
I think he tried to drop some Zerglings as well. In the main base, still got a few buildings. White
Raw does still have 3 bases, but Kev, he's got nothing else. He's down to 70 supply against 130 supply Zerg player.
Oh, that poor Immortal.
Oh, and there's a hole in the wall.
Swaps in 1 Zealot. White Raw does have 3-0 upgrades, by the way, guys, but that's just not enough against the 3-3 upgrades of TargA. That really makes a world of difference. Even these Archons, man.
Yeah, and TargA really playing some impressive Starcraft.
TargA is playing like a boss. He wants to go to those NASL finals, man.
This season of the NASL is really kind of proving to be the story of foreign Zergs. We've got Lowly 5-0. TargA looks like he's about to be 3-2. This is
a really good start.
As White Raw just can't really muster a defense here. He's going to lose this 3rd base, and I think with it he's going to end up losing this game.
Pretty sure he does. Absolutely fantastic play by TargA. I love how he plays. He plays different. He prepares for his opponent. That's so clear. I mean, as you said, White Raw did the exact same opening against Moro. I didn't think about it in the start of the game. Meanwhile, these Ultras are still having a ton of fun, chopping their way through all these Zealots.
Man, all that armor.
Just shows what preparation does for you, man. Like the guys who prepare. White Raw says, GG, well played. TargA takes out White Raw 2-0. Wow.
Unbelievable. Absolutely impressive performance by TargA.
TargA so far in the NASL has beaten Chef, Jinro, and now White Raw.
He's the Norstralian.
Man, that TargA fan is going to be so happy.
Is he Norstralian or Ostwesian?
Norstralian. I like Norstralian better. Man, that's so cool. I mean, I love Mr. Ra, of course, but I'm actually quite happy for TargA because I know that he was really happy to be part of the NASL. When I spoke with him back then in Kiev, he already said that how much the Australians always enjoyed watching Moonglade in the NASL, and he said he hoped to be part of it too. And now to see him do that well, that's really, really cool.
Well, I mean, he's been saying, I think I saw a thread today on Team Liquid, him kind of calling out people saying the Australian community needs more exposure. There's some really good players there. Showing us all season long that he's one of them, man. Taking out White Raw, he beat Sheth earlier in the season. Took out Jinro last week.
Yeah. And the conditions that he's playing in, guys. Please take into consideration that TargA is playing via wireless internet from his phone from Australia on the North American server. That's so impressive.
He has a laptop connected to a cell phone with a USB cable, connected wirelessly to a 3G network in Australia, which he then connects to BattleNet in North America on the other side of the world.
And then beats absolute top players like the guys we just mentioned. And the funny thing is then, when a Korean loses against a foreigner on NA, they say like it's latency issues or it's lag. What about TargA, man? Like how good do you claim that TargA is then if he wins under these conditions?
And you really saw it with that one fungal. It's like TargA drops the fungal. There's nothing there.
Blink was like 4 seconds ago, TargA. I mean, I guess it comes and it goes. Like sometimes his connection is quite stable, and sometimes it's just bad. And well,
all right, that game brought to us by Epson projectors, the best and the brightest in production and recreational quality style projectors. They make good projectors. We're gonna play a commercial, then we'll be back with a word from the Norstralian TargA. Interview with him after this break.